You just spoke about Abu Dhabi and the ADCC. Let's shift to the ADCC and talk about 1998, which was the first event.
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk about the feeling of being in Abu Dhabi? How did you find it? How did your invitation came to be? It was the first ever ADCC, and I heard a lot of people, a lot of big name fighters actually were hesitant to go. They wanted to see how the first couple of events went, and then as the events went by, you saw all these guys coming. Maybe they were afraid in the beginning to showcase their skills in an unknown event. So what can you tell us about the history?
I'm not quite sure why I was invited, but I believe my old friend Sheikh Tarnoum bin Zayed, he took a look at my tapes. I did some tapes back in 1997, some instructional tapes of Jiu-Jitsu, and by that time I was two-time world champion, Jiu-Jitsu world champion, and I was already an MMA fighter. I was very well known in America and all over the world, and I think I was invited because of that. When I received the invitation, I was very excited. I never came to the Middle East. I never heard about Abu Dhabi. I was the only place I have an idea. I had any information was Dubai, and I thought that Dubai was the capital of Emirates. So I started studying about it, and I learned a lot of things. And when I came to Abu Dhabi, I was impressed. I was amazed with the city. I was amazed how Sheikh Tarnoum treated me. I was amazed how Sheikh Hazard treated me. I was amazed with how everybody treated me, even before when I was a champion, because to be treated well when you were a champion is easy, So I was very well treated before. I made a lot of friends, and I became a good friend of Mohammed Tahloub, who helped me a lot, still help me as much as he can today. And although we are not very much contact, because he has his family, I have my family, I have my job, he has his job, but in spirit and heart we are together. And I owe a lot of things to this country. I would say that everything I am right now is because Abu Dhabi competition and Abu Dhabi as a country. So I just have to thank everybody, especially Sheikh Tarnoum and Sheikh Hazard, Sheikh Mohammed, Tahloub, for his help and his friendship.
What was your toughest fight in the ADCC? You fought a lot of people. Actually, I just spoke to Carlos, and he told me, I was talking to him about the only Arabic fighter to be in the top 3 in ADCC history, which was an Egyptian guy. We were talking about him recently. And he told me, I forgot, it was Mohammed or Carlos, and I think it was Mohammed. He told me that you fought that Egyptian guy at one time.
Yeah, that was my toughest fight. That year was funny because nobody knew him, and when I look at his eyes, I could see he was tough. I could see his spirit. I could see his heart. And I said to myself, he was using a wrestling gi. So I said to myself, it's going to be hard to take this guy down. And my game was to take people down. So I couldn't take him down, but I was very smart to play with the rules, and I beat him in 10 minutes with his light advantage. That was the toughest fight. It was my first fight, if I'm not wrong. But it was a very tough fight, for sure.
So you would consider that your toughest fight?
Yes, I consider that my toughest fight.
To be honest, I was surprised, because I would love for the ADCC to have more Middle Eastern fighters compete in their tournament. So to find out that there was actually I know there were Arabic divisions,
right,
but I'm talking about the top divisions.
Yeah.
So it was a bit.
I was surprised because I couldn't accept that I couldn't take him down. So I kind of lost my focus, and I wasted too much energy to try to take him down, and I couldn't take him down. And by the time I realized that, I was tired already. So I have to hold the fight and play smart and relax and think about it and think what to do. And I had a lot of experience, and I was lucky to concentrate and get back to the fight and win the fight.
You're also a two-time Superfight champion.
Exactly.
That hasn't been achieved yet. I don't know if you know, but Roger Gracie was supposed to fight Drysdale, and he got injured. He was probably going to tie your record, but I think that record is gonna stay at least for another 2 years. How do you see? I mean, do you really care about that record? Do you see it as something?
Oh, of course. I mean, I'm a competitor, and
do you want it to be broken? That's what I'm saying.
I mean, I'm a competitor. I always like to be in top. I know that in some point, I know that in some point, somebody's gonna break this record, but it's a good feeling. I won't tell you that it's not, but it is. The truth is, you know, everybody has some ego inside his heart, and I train a lot, and I know what I did to become 4-time Abu Dhabi champion in 3 years, and I'm still the person who has more titles in Abu Dhabi. I have 4 titles, and who has more titles in Superfight. And you know, it's good. It's a small thing, but for me, it's a good thing because I'm retired now, and it's good to see that what I achieved is not that easy to be achieved.
Right. And I think it's a good chance to talk to you about this because you've been there since the beginning. A lot of people, or a lot of fighters, during the years since 1998 up until now, have been like begging the ADCC committee to you know, somehow change the rules because they think it's a bit boring or it doesn't favor the jiu-jitsu guys. It favors the wrestler because you cannot pull guard, for instance, and you know, all the stuff. What do you think about the rules? I mean,
I think the rules are the rules. You know, you have to play, you have to dance with the music. If the rules are these rules, you have to make your game work in that rule. You know, even God couldn't please everyone. So always there's going to be someone that is not happy. Always there is going to be people happy. Always there is people unhappy. The main thing is, let's focus in the game. Let's try to play with the rules, and let's learn the rules in order to know how to break them when you need it.
Okay, and before we move on to another subject, this month actually is the I believe it's the 7th or 8th edition of the ADCC in Spain. How do you see that? I mean, being there since the beginning, what do you see differently? I mean, the level of the fighters, or I mean, who do you predict that's gonna shine? I mean, we have seen for the last 3 ADCCs, actually for the last 2, some of the weight categories had the same finalists. So it's pretty interesting because it shows you that it's not a fluke type of event. You know, the best guys always end up being in the finals. So who do you see? You know, I mean, aside from the regular guys, who do you see breaking out this year?
Well, it's hard to say because there are so many people. But I would say that André Galvão didn't show what he can do. He's been growing a lot, and I think he can be one of the top names this year.
Okay.